The holiday season. We put up our decorations, shop the latest deals, and invite extended family members over for huge feasts. For many of us, these traditions also include a lot of classic holiday films. Often topping the list, Home Alone and its sequel, Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. While watching the antics of little Kevin McAllister year after year, people may wonder about the star, Macaulay Culkin. In the 90s, he was arguably one of the biggest child stars and actors in general. But what happened? Well, we'll tell you, and the next time you sit down to watch Home Alone, you'll know about the rise and fall of Macaulay Culkin and how the child star went from marquee films to reclusive life of riches without the fame attached to it. Before you watch, make your battle plan and click subscribe. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of new Screen Rant content. A quick glance at Macaulay Culkin's IMDb page showcases a lot of movies in very little time. The 1990s was packed with films, television shows, and guest appearances on various programs. Culkin was in his preteens and working more than most adults. Then after 1994, apparently it all ended. 9 years without a big screen credit, and our vision of Macaulay Culkin was left with the roles he played as a child star. So what happened? How did Macaulay Culkin go from multiple big screen projects in 1994 to disappearing from Hollywood for nearly a decade? Did he follow the path as so many other child stars, getting older and losing out on roles? Well, not quite. And like many things in Hollywood, the story of Macaulay Culkin is not so simple. But before we get to the adult-sized Macaulay, we must first look at the fun-sized Macaulay, the young, innocent-looking boy who became a megastar. Raised in a family with 6 siblings, Macaulay was the third born, right in the middle of the Culkin clan. The family was extremely close, both physically and emotionally, especially considering they all shared a one-bedroom apartment in New York City. While his 2 older siblings didn't do much in show business, Macaulay was drawn to the world of showbiz because of his father, Christopher Culkin, often called Kit for short. Kit was involved in acting, but never received the same mainstream success as his children. Thus, seeing a way to live vicariously through the Culkin clan, Kit set out to essentially create a child star empire. And it worked. Throughout the 80s, Macaulay Culkin had several small roles before he got his big break in the John Candy comedy Uncle Buck. Playing one of Buck's nephews, Culkin's wit and charm shined on the screen, and writer-director John Hughes took notice. While Uncle Buck was in production, John Hughes was developing a whole different type of film, with a premise appealing to children of all ages. By now, we all know the plot of the film. A young boy is accidentally left behind by his family when they travel to France for Christmas vacation. On paper, the film had everything: goofy criminals, sledding stunts down the stairs, a mysterious old man, the thrill of staying home alone as a child, ingenious traps, and a whole lot of Christmas songs. But the key to success would be finding a young actor suitable for the role of Kevin McAllister. For Hughes, Culkin was his top choice thanks to his scene-stealing skills in Uncle Buck. At just the age of 9 years old, Culkin was filming his first starring role in Home Alone, a role that would literally change his life forever. Macaulay was in nearly every scene, putting a lot of pressure on the young star to perform. Macaulay wasn't all alone while filming, though. as it became a sort of family affair. His young brother Kieran Culkin was cast as Kevin McAllister's cousin Fuller, and while we obviously never see him on screen, Kid Culkin had a huge hand in his son's roles because he was also playing the part of the manager. Despite Macaulay's natural acting skills, Kit himself was tough to handle for many producers and directors. He was very controlling, and the tension was only building as Culkin booked more roles. But more on that later. Little did Culkin know at the time what an impact Home Alone would have on his career and Christmas in general. Who knew paint can stunts, loose tarantulas, cardboard cutouts of Michael Jordan, and a stolen toothbrush would lead to so much success? Home Alone was a box office hit and made Culkin an instant star. For 12 weeks, the movie was #1 at the box office, and ended up making over $250 million overall. The box office streak is almost unheard of these days, and many movies end up getting released on Blu-ray or digital just after the 12-week mark. He chewed up the screen with many classic lines. "I made my family disappear. This is it. Don't get scared now. Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof." And no one can forget his famous scream that became a huge part of the marketing campaign. Not only was Culkin earning millions of fans on the big screen, but he started doing the rounds all over television too. There were numerous talk show guest appearances, interviews, and he became one of the youngest hosts of Saturday Night Live ever, only bested by a very young Drew Barrymore back in the 1980s. If you thought the young star was spread too thin, well, he probably was. With both of his parents serving as manager and collecting 15% of everything Culkin earned, Kit pushed his son harder than ever before after the success of Home Alone. To help Culkin thrive in the cutthroat world of Hollywood, he was very persistent about his son learning his lines, even when it came to hosting Saturday Night Live. Even though guest hosts and the cast members themselves used cue cards when needed during scenes, Culkin's father